What if sharper memory starts with what's growing in your garden? Not some high-tech lab formula, not expensive pharmaceuticals, just plants. Plants that have been studied, tested, and validated by actual science. Stay with me, because the real answer is coming, and it might just change how you think about everyday herbs sitting right there on your windowsill or hiding in your spice rack. We're living through an attention crisis. Our brains are bombarded every single second, notifications, emails, endless scrolling. And it's taking a toll. Memory lapses aren't just for the elderly anymore, they're hitting 30-somethings, 20-somethings, even teenagers. We forget names seconds after hearing them. We walk into rooms and can't remember why. Focus? That's become a superpower most of us have lost. But here's the exciting part, nature has answers. For thousands of years, humans have turned to plants for healing. Not because they were primitive, but because they were observant. They noticed patterns. This herb after that meal led to better sleep. That root before a hunt sharpened focus. And now, modern science is catching up, validating what traditional medicine knew all along. We have clinical trials, brain scans, biochemical pathways mapped out. The difference? Now we know why these herbs work, and how to use them properly. Let's start with the heavyweight champion, Ginkgo biloba. This isn't some trendy superfood, it's a living fossil, a tree species that's survived over 200 million years. 200 million. Dinosaurs came and went while Ginkgo kept growing. And there's a reason traditional Chinese medicine has used it for millennia. It works. Specifically, it works on your brain's blood flow, and that matters more than you might think for memory and cognitive function. Here's what makes Ginkgo special: it's a vasodilator. That means it helps your blood vessels relax and widen, allowing more oxygen-rich blood to reach your brain. Your neurons are energy hogs, they need constant fuel. When blood flow improves, cognitive function often follows. Studies have shown that Ginkgo can support memory recall and processing speed. Not dramatically overnight, but measurably over weeks. The compounds responsible? Flavonoids and terpenoids, both powerful antioxidants that protect brain cells from oxidative stress. The research on Ginkgo is substantial. We're talking hundreds of studies. A meta-analysis examining multiple trials found that Ginkgo extract showed statistically significant improvements in cognitive performance compared to placebo. Another study focused on older adults experiencing mild cognitive decline. Ginkgo helped stabilize and even slightly improve their memory scores over 6 months. Is it a miracle cure? No. But it's a legitimate, evidence-backed tool for supporting brain health, especially as we age. So how do you actually use Ginkgo? The standard dose in most studies is 120 to 240 milligrams per day, split into 2 or 3 doses. Look for standardized extracts, specifically those containing 24% flavone glycosides and 6% terpene lactones. Those percentages matter because they ensure you're getting the active compounds. Take it with food to improve absorption. And be patient. Ginkgo isn't a stimulant. You won't feel a jolt. Benefits accumulate over 4 to 6 weeks of consistent use. Next up, rosemary. You probably know it from your spice cabinet, that woody, pine-scented herb that makes roasted chicken sing. But rosemary is so much more than a culinary staple. Shakespeare wrote, "Rosemary, that's for remembrance." Turns out, he wasn't just being poetic, he was onto something real. Modern science has discovered that rosemary contains compounds that may genuinely support memory and mental clarity. And the research is downright fascinating. One of the most intriguing studies on rosemary didn't even involve eating it, just smelling it. Researchers at Northumbria University had participants work in rooms infused with rosemary essential oil aroma. The results? Those exposed to rosemary scent showed significant improvements in prospective memory, that's remembering to do things in the future, like taking medication or attending appointments. Their cognitive performance scores jumped by up to 15%. Just from the smell. The compound responsible is called 1,8-cineol, and it appears to affect neurotransmitter activity. But rosemary works internally too. When ingested, its antioxidants, particularly rosmarinic acid and carnosic acid, cross the blood-brain barrier and help protect neurons from damage. These compounds fight inflammation and oxidative stress, two major contributors to cognitive decline. In animal studies, rosemary extract has been shown to improve learning and memory performance. Human trials are fewer but promising, suggesting that regular rosemary consumption may support overall cognitive health and focus. Using rosemary is beautifully simple. Cook with it liberally, toss fresh sprigs into olive oil, add it to vegetables, infuse it in soups. For aromatherapy, use a few drops of pure rosemary essential oil in a diffuser while you work or study. For supplementation, look for standardized rosemary extract, typically 200 to 500 milligrams daily. Or brew rosemary tea, steep a teaspoon of dried rosemary in hot water for 10 minutes. It's earthy, slightly bitter, and absolutely worth trying. Sage, the third herb on our list, has one of the coolest names in botany, Salvia officinalis. Salvia comes from the Latin salver, meaning to save or to heal. The ancients believed sage could save your life. And while that might be hyperbolic, what's not exaggerated is sage's remarkable effect on the brain. Modern research shows that sage may enhance memory, improve mood, and even protect against neurodegenerative diseases. This humble kitchen herb is a cognitive powerhouse. Sage's secret weapon? It inhibits an enzyme called acetylcholinesterase. That's a mouthful, but here's why it matters. Acetylcholine is a neurotransmitter critical for learning and memory. When acetylcholinesterase breaks it down too quickly, cognitive function suffers. Sage slows that breakdown, keeping more acetylcholine available in your brain. This is the same mechanism used by some Alzheimer's medications. In fact, studies on sage extract have shown improved memory recall in both healthy young adults and older individuals with mild cognitive impairment. One particularly compelling study gave healthy young adults either sage oil extract or placebo before cognitive testing. Those who received sage showed significantly improved immediate recall and enhanced alertness. Another trial focused on older adults. Sage extract improved cognitive performance and reduced agitation. The effects weren't subtle, they were measurable and reproducible. And sage appears to work quickly, with some cognitive benefits observable within hours of ingestion. That makes it perfect for acute situations like studying or important presentations. How should you use sage? Fresh or dried sage in cooking is a great start. It's delicious with poultry, pork, and butternut squash. For cognitive benefits, sage tea is effective. Use 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried sage per cup, steep for 5 to 10 minutes. For higher doses, sage extract supplements are available, typically 300 to 600 milligrams daily. Look for extracts standardized to contain rosmarinic acid. Start with the lower end and see how you respond. Sage is generally safe but potent. Now we move from herbs to fungi. Lion's mane mushroom. Its scientific name is Hericium arenaceus, and when you see it, you'll understand the common name. It looks like a white, shaggy lion's mane cascading from a tree. This mushroom has been used in traditional Chinese medicine for centuries, but Western science only recently discovered why it's so special for the brain. And honestly, the research is some of the most exciting in all of natural nootropics. We're talking about actual nerve growth. Lion's mane contains unique compounds called hericinones and irinocines. These molecules do something extraordinary. They stimulate the production of nerve growth factor, or NGF. NGF is a protein that's essential for the growth, maintenance, and survival of neurons. Without adequate NGF, neurons die. With sufficient NGF, they thrive, form new connections, and even regenerate. This means lion's mane isn't just protecting your brain, it's potentially helping it grow stronger and more resilient. That's not just preservation, that's enhancement. The human studies on lion's mane are genuinely impressive. A Japanese trial gave older adults with mild cognitive impairment 750 mg of lion's mane 3 times daily for 16 weeks. The lion's mane group showed significant improvements on cognitive function scales compared to placebo. Even better? When they stopped taking it, scores declined again, suggesting a real, causal relationship. Another study found that lion's mane reduced anxiety and depression while improving concentration. This mushroom works on multiple levels of brain health simultaneously. Lion's mane is available in several forms. You can cook with fresh lion's mane mushroom. It has a seafood-like texture and mild flavor, excellent sautéed in butter. For therapeutic doses, supplements are more practical. Look for dual-extracted powder, hot water and alcohol extraction, to get both hericenones and erinacines. Standard doses range from 500 to 3,000 mg daily. Many people take it in the morning for focus or before bed for nerve repair during sleep. Either timing works, consistency matters most. Our fifth herb is Kola, scientifically known as Centella asiatica. This leafy green plant grows in wetlands across Asia, and it's been a cornerstone of Ayurvedic and traditional Chinese medicine for thousands of years. It's sometimes called the herb of enlightenment because monks would consume it before meditation to enhance mental clarity. Legend says it promotes longevity. One story claims a Chinese herbalist who used Kola regularly lived to 256 years old. That's folklore, but the cognitive benefits? Those are real and documented. Kola works through multiple pathways. First, it enhances circulation to the brain, similar to Ginkgo but through different mechanisms. Second, it contains triterpenoids, compounds that protect neurons from toxicity and reduce inflammation. Third, it appears to modulate neurotransmitters, particularly GABA, which helps regulate anxiety and stress. This combination makes Kola unique. It's both calming and cognition enhancing. You get focus without jitters, mental clarity without overstimulation. It's like the brain found its optimal operating state. Research on Kola shows consistent cognitive benefits. One study found that Kola extract improved working memory and mood in healthy elderly participants. Another trial demonstrated that it reduced the startle response and improved attention span. A systematic review concluded that Kola shows promise for enhancing cognitive function and treating anxiety and mild cognitive impairment. The effects are typically described as gentle but noticeable, not a dramatic surge, but a sustained elevation in mental performance and emotional balance over time. Kola can be consumed in various ways. In Asia, fresh leaves are often eaten raw in salads or juiced. For most of us, supplements are more accessible. Standardized extracts typically contain 40% asiaticoside, one of the key active compounds. Standard doses range from 500 to 1,000 mg daily, divided into 2 doses. You can also brew Kola tea from dried leaves. Effects build over several weeks, so patience is essential. And unlike stimulants, Kola won't interfere with sleep. Some traditions even use it to improve sleep quality. Here's where it gets really interesting: these herbs can work together. The concept is called stacking, combining supplements for synergistic effects. Ginkgo's improved blood flow can help deliver lion's mane's NGF-stimulating compounds more efficiently. Rosemary's aroma can enhance the acetylcholine-preserving effects of sage. Kola's calming properties can balance any slight stimulation from the others. Many herbalists and nootropic enthusiasts combine 2 or 3 of these herbs for comprehensive cognitive support. Just introduce them one at a time to monitor individual effects. Timing matters with herbal nootropics. Some people take Ginkgo and rosemary in the morning for daytime focus, lion's mane with breakfast and dinner for continuous NGF support, and Kola in the afternoon to maintain calm alertness. Others cycle herbs, using them for 6 weeks, taking 2 weeks off, then resuming. This prevents tolerance and lets you assess whether benefits persist. There's no single perfect protocol because individual biochemistry varies. Experiment thoughtfully, keep notes, and find what works for your unique brain. Quality is absolutely critical with herbal supplements. Not all ginkgo or rosemary extracts are created equal. Look for products that are third-party tested. Companies like NSF International or USP verify that what's on the label is actually in the bottle. Check for standardization to active compounds, 24% flavone glycosides for ginkgo, specific percentages of hericinones for lion's mane. Avoid products with excessive fillers or proprietary blends that hide actual ingredient amounts. You want transparency. Reputable brands cost more, but they're worth it. Garbage in, garbage out. These herbs are generally safe, but let's talk precautions. Ginkgo can interact with blood thinners because it affects clotting. If you're on warfarin or similar medications, consult your doctor first. Sage in very high doses can be neurotoxic due to thujone content, so stick to recommended amounts. Lion's mane is remarkably safe but can cause mild digestive upset in some people initially. Gotu Kola may cause drowsiness in high doses. Rosemary is safe in culinary amounts but concentrated oils are potent. Pregnant or nursing women should avoid therapeutic doses. When in doubt, ask a healthcare professional. Let's be honest, these herbs aren't magic pills. They won't compensate for sleep deprivation, terrible diet, chronic stress, or lack of exercise. Your brain needs a foundation of basics: 7 to 9 hours of sleep, regular physical activity, whole foods, social connection, and mental stimulation. Herbs are powerful tools, but they're amplifiers, not replacements. If you're running on 4 hours of sleep and living on junk food, no amount of ginkgo will save you. Fix the fundamentals first. Then herbs can help you reach the next level. Think of cognitive enhancement as a puzzle with many pieces. Sleep is a piece. Nutrition is a piece. Exercise, stress management, meaningful work, relationships, all pieces. Herbs like ginkgo, rosemary, sage, lion's mane, and Gotu Kola? They're pieces too. Important pieces. But they fit into a larger picture. The people who get the most dramatic results from these herbs are usually the ones who've already optimized other areas. The herbs become the final tuning adjustment that takes good brain health to great brain health. Context is everything. Your response to these herbs will be unique. Some people feel ginkgo effects within 2 weeks, others need 2 months. Some find rosemary aroma incredibly focusing, others feel nothing special. Lion's mane might give you vivid dreams or no noticeable change at all. This variation isn't failure, it's biology. We have different genetics, different gut microbiomes, different baseline cognitive states, different deficiencies or excesses. Approach herbs with curiosity, not rigid expectations. Try, observe, adjust. What works for someone else might not work for you, and vice versa. How do you know if these herbs are working? Subjective feelings matter. Do you feel sharper, more focused, better able to recall information? But also track objectively. Use apps that test working memory and reaction time at baseline, then retest after 4 to 6 weeks. Keep a daily journal rating your focus, mood, and mental energy on a scale of 1 to 10. Notice changes in your work quality or how quickly you complete tasks. Look for patterns. Data helps you separate placebo from real effects. And if something's not working, that's valuable information too. Adjust accordingly. Let's talk money. High-quality versions of these herbs aren't cheap, but they're not outrageous either. A month's supply of good ginkgo extract costs about $15 to $30. Lion's mane might run $20 to $40. Rosemary and sage as culinary herbs or teas? Pennies per dose. Compared to prescription medications or expensive smart drugs, herbal nootropics are remarkably affordable. And if they help you work more efficiently, remember names at networking events, or stay focused through long projects, the return on investment is obvious. Brain health is worth investing in. We have to acknowledge the placebo effect. When you take something expecting it to work, sometimes it does even if the substance is inert. Placebo effects are real and powerful, especially for subjective experiences like focus and mood. But here's the thing, the herbs we've discussed have been tested against placebo in double-blind trials, where neither participants nor researchers knew who got what. And they still showed benefits. The effects are above and beyond placebo. So yes, belief helps. But these herbs work on their own merit, not just through expectation. The most compelling reason to use these herbs isn't about today or next week, it's about decades from now. Brain health is cumulative. The choices you make at 30 affect your cognition at 70. Oxidative stress, inflammation, reduced blood flow, these accumulate silently over time, leading to age-related cognitive decline or worse. Herbs like Ginkgo, Rosemary, Sage, Lion's Mane, and Kola offer neuroprotection. They're preventative medicine. You might not feel dramatically different today, but you're building resilience for the future. That's the real prize. There's something profoundly satisfying about growing your own cognitive enhancers. Rosemary, sage, and Kola can all be grown in home gardens or even windowsill pots. Imagine stepping outside, snipping fresh rosemary, and adding it to your tea or dinner, knowing you're directly supporting your brain health with something you nurtured yourself. It connects you to the plant, to the earth, to the long tradition of herbal medicine. It's not necessary, supplements work fine, but there's a special kind of mindfulness in growing your own brain food. The research on these herbs is far from complete. New studies emerge constantly. Scientists are exploring how lion's mane might help after traumatic brain injury. Researchers are testing whether Ginkgo can slow dementia progression when combined with other therapies. Teams are analyzing the specific molecular pathways of sage and rosemary antioxidants. We're at an exciting moment where traditional knowledge meets cutting-edge neuroscience. The next decade will likely reveal even more about how these plants support our brains. The future of natural nootropics is bright and evidence-based. Don't limit yourself to capsules and extracts. Integrate these herbs into your life holistically. Diffuse rosemary oil while you work. Add fresh sage to your weekend omelet. Brew Kola tea for afternoon calm. Cook with lion's mane mushroom when you find it at the farmer's market. Take Ginkgo as a daily supplement. Make these herbs part of your routine, your rituals, your relationship with food and wellness. When cognitive support becomes a lifestyle rather than a task, it's sustainable. It becomes who you are, not just what you do. The herbal and nootropic communities online are vibrant and generous. Reddit forums, Facebook groups, specialized websites, people share their experiences, protocols, sources, and results. You can learn from thousands of real-world experiments. But be discerning. Not every anecdote is reliable. Look for patterns across many reports. Ask questions. Share your own findings. The collective knowledge of a community experimenting thoughtfully is incredibly valuable. You're not alone in this journey. There are others optimizing their cognition naturally, and they're happy to help. Some people question whether it's right to enhance our cognitive function artificially. Is it cheating? Is it unnatural? Here's my take: humans have always used tools to extend our capabilities. Eyeglasses enhance vision. Books enhance memory. Calculators enhance mathematical ability. Herbs that support brain health are just another tool. There's nothing unethical about wanting to think clearly, remember accurately, and focus deeply. We're not talking about dangerous stimulants or brain-hacking devices. We're talking about plants that grow in the earth, used wisely. That's not cheating, that's smart. As demand for these herbs grows, we need to think about sustainability. Wild ginkgo isn't at risk, it's widely cultivated. But some medicinal plants are over-harvested from fragile ecosystems. When buying supplements, look for brands that source sustainably and support fair trade. Certified organic helps ensure environmental stewardship. If you can, grow your own where possible. The cognitive benefits of these herbs matter, but so does the health of the planet that provides them. Responsible consumption ensures these plants remain available for future generations. It's about long-term thinking in every sense. A quick note on younger people: children and teenagers should generally not use these herbs in supplement form without professional guidance. Their brains are still developing, and we don't have adequate research on how concentrated herbal extracts affect growing nervous systems. Culinary amounts of rosemary and sage in food? That's fine. But standardized extracts and high-dose supplements should be reserved for adults. If a child is struggling with focus or memory, address sleep, nutrition, screen time, and potential learning differences first. Consult pediatricians and specialists before turning to supplements. For those concerned about Alzheimer's and dementia, and many of us are, with family histories or aging parents, these herbs offer hope. While they're not cures, the neuroprotective properties of ginkgo, sage, lion's mane, and others may help delay onset or slow progression. Studies are ongoing. Some evidence suggests that people who use these herbs long-term have better cognitive outcomes in old age. It's not guaranteed, but it's promising. And crucially, there's very little downside to trying. If there's even a chance these herbs could preserve your mind decades from now, isn't that worth exploring? What's fascinating about several of these herbs, especially Gotu, Kola, and Rosemary, is that they don't just affect the brain, they affect mood, anxiety, and stress resilience. The mind-body connection is real. When you're chronically stressed, cognitive function suffers. When you're anxious, focus crumbles. Herbs that calm the nervous system while supporting brain health hit two targets at once. They help you feel better emotionally, which makes you think better cognitively. It's holistic healing in the truest sense, treating the person, not just the symptom. For maximum benefit, combine these herbs with proven cognitive practices. Meditation enhances focus. Rosemary or sage might amplify that. Aerobic exercise increases BDNF, a growth factor similar to NGF. Pair it with lion's mane for synergy. Learning new skills creates neural plasticity. Ginkgo's improved blood flow could support that process. Adequate sleep consolidates memories. Take Gotu Kola before bed to support sleep quality. The herbs are one piece, intentional practices are another. Together, they create a comprehensive strategy for cognitive optimization. That's when real transformation happens. If you're ready to try these herbs, here's your action plan. Start with one herb, not all 5. Give it a full 4 to 6 weeks at recommended doses. Track your response objectively and subjectively. If it helps, great, continue. If not, try another. Once you find what works, you can carefully add a second herb if desired. Buy from reputable sources with third-party testing. Be patient. Natural doesn't mean instant. Consult healthcare professionals if you have medical conditions or take medications. And remember, these herbs are tools to support a healthy lifestyle, not substitutes for one. So let's come back to where we started. Sharper memory might just begin with what's growing in your garden. Ginkgo biloba with its ancient roots and blood flow benefits. Rosemary with its aroma that literally changes brain chemistry. Sage inhibiting the breakdown of crucial neurotransmitters. Lion's mane stimulating actual nerve growth. Gotu Kola calming anxiety while enhancing clarity. These aren't pseudoscience or wishful thinking. They're plants with real mechanisms, backed by studies, used by millions, and available to you right now. Real herbs. Real science. Real results. This isn't just information, it's an invitation. An invitation to take control of your cognitive health naturally. To explore what your brain is capable of when properly supported. To experience what clear thinking, sharp memory, and sustained focus feel like. You don't need to accept declining mental performance as inevitable. You don't need expensive treatments or risky pharmaceuticals. You have options. Ancient wisdom meets modern validation. These herbs are waiting. Your sharper, clearer, more focused mind is possible. The question is, are you ready to explore what that looks like for you? We've covered 5 remarkable herbs: Ginkgo biloba for blood flow and circulation, 120 to 240 milligrams daily. Rosemary for aromatic and internal cognitive support, 200 to 500 mg or diffused. Sage for acetylcholine preservation and memory, 300 to 600 mg. Lion's mane for nerve growth factor stimulation, 500 to 3000 mg. And Gotu Kola for calm focus and neuroprotection, 500 to 1000 mg. Each backed by research. Each with unique mechanisms. Each worth considering for your cognitive health toolkit. Real herbs, real science, worth adding to your routine.